Hey, welcome back to another tutorial. My name is Playgue, and today we're going to be talking about glitches and issues and errors that pop up onto this device and how to fix some of those, or at least most of them, and at least get a better understanding of what's going on. Feel free to jump around in this tutorial to the issue that you are specifically having. I'll have little titles on the bottom. But the first issue we're going to talk about is not necessarily an issue specifically, but workarounds, how to get around a lot of issues. So let's say a button doesn't work or a fader is being wonky or something like that. There are ways to work around some of the buggy stuff, and that is by using assigns. So what you're going to do is you're going to tap memory 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have the assigns. Now what assigns are, I'm going to have a whole tutorial specifically dedicated to assigns and how I use them. Briefly, what assigns are is it allows you to assign some buttons and knobs to do other things for you. For example, I can have the track effects knob will normally control whatever the last track effects that I had pressed was and one specific parameter in that, but I can have this knob control track volume for track 4, for example. Even if your track effects A button was broken, you can still navigate through different effects with track effects A by pushing the stop button here, or when you overdub on track 5 or something like that. So I'm going to turn one of these on because when they're off, you don't have any options, but when you turn it on, you now can cycle through these for the different options. Again, I'm going to have my own tutorial on assigns, so this is very brief. Source essentially means what button is going to do the thing. Input effects knob, that means this knob here is going to be doing the thing. The source mode, this is moment versus toggle. Moment is more, you can actually control specific values with the knobs or whatever buttons, whereas toggle is just turning something on and off. Target is what do you want the source to affect. So do you want it to affect input level? Well, if you have it affecting input level for the input effects knob, that means instead of using this knob, say this is broken off or dog-eated or whatever, then you can use this knob to control your input level instead. Then the target minimum and maximum, not every effect or not every target will be able to have a target minimum or maximum, but essentially what this is it sets a range. That is essentially how you can do workarounds for some things that may not be working, is by using assigns. The next glitch that we're going to talk about is actually a glitch that I have not seen anyone else experience on the internet. I even talked about it with a lot of technicians, quite a few technicians who specifically work on this device. They've never heard of this happening. It is a fader glitch. So I had issues with my faders, which these are very cheap faders, unfortunately, where the faders were just being wild. As you saw, I could control the volume of different tracks. Sometimes the fader just wouldn't work at all. I could tap it and it would cut out. It was just a mess. I was stuck like this for a while and I had no solutions, but eventually I had a technician tell me to get this stuff. If you've watched my how to clean your loop station tutorial, you've seen this stuff before. This is what I use to clean the faders. This is fader cleaner, specifically Deoxit D100. And this stuff is amazing. This actually saved my loop station. I have not, since I've started using this, I have not had that glitchy effect happen to my loop station ever since. It was probably just dust in the connections, making the connections jump, or something along those lines that was causing it. But in any case, this fixed it. The next issue that I've heard a lot of people talking about is talking about what these red lines do. Some people are wondering why there's, like, for some people they're in sync, whereas for other people they are not in sync, and how to control these. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into System, and you're going to scroll all the way over to Indicator. Loop position is what I have mine on all the time, so this tells me the exact length of what the loop is, and it's a lot more helpful for me. But you can also have it on position plus status. You can also have it on levels, and then you can also have it on status. Notice all of these are now equal to the measure of whatever the measure was set for. But this will tell you that there's something on each one of the tracks. Another thing is with status, it'll actually flash to the BPM of the song before it actually starts going, but it's up to your style. Next, we're going to talk about headphone quality problems. At one point, I was having issues with my headphones. Like, the quality just plummeted. Because before, it almost sounded like I was on the phone box all the time. It turns out to be a wire issue. Not that my specific wire was bad, but more precisely, these black lines. So you notice that there are 3 black lines on this headphone cable. This is what I was using to plug in my loop station. Turns out that this extra line here does something. I'm not sure the actual technical specs of the reason why. Either the extra part, this piece here, is the reason why it was being weird, but notice that this one has 2 black stripes. And I get perfect speaker and headphone quality when I use this setup versus when I use this with the 3. If you don't have a headphone cable or an aux jack that has the 2 black bars instead of the 3, what you can do for a temporary fix is to pull the headphone jack out just a little bit. So you're not going to have it fully inserted. You're actually going to have it just slightly out like this. So then only 2 black bars will actually connect. Not the best thing in the world to do, but if you're in a pinch, that's how you can fix that issue until you get a actual cable that fits that. But that fixed the headphone quality issues immediately. Another issue that I've encountered while using this thing is an issue of my own fault. So let's say I am messing with some stuff and playing a song, and I want to change the track effect of something, but I'm on this menu instead. And what ends up happening is then it'll skip the song. However, since stuff is playing, it'll start flashing, getting ready to transition the song to a new one. I will be playing a song and I want to change the setting of something, but it ends up going to the main menu, or I'm not realizing it's on the main menu, and I want to change to something else. Instead of it immediately jumping to the next track, it'll start flashing and transition. Well, there's a way to actually cancel that. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So we have the song playing, and I'm messing with this. And let's say I don't notice it, like go back to the menu, and I try to change. I'm going to lose all of this. I just lost all of what I just did. There's a way to avoid that. There's 2 steps. The first step is you can keep changing the song while you're thinking. So it's definitely a panic moment, and if you don't think quickly on your feet, you can actually delay the time that it'll take to change just by moving the value knob back and forth until you realize, okay, I know you're calm, I know what to do. So I'll show you what I mean. So you just keep doing this. And this will give you a little bit more time to think before it fully transitions to the next song. To cancel it, you just have to push exit. So then that'll stop it. In practice, you accidentally move the knob and you're like, oh crap, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, exit. Hopefully that'll help you prevent that mistake from happening, which has happened to me a few times before. Another issue that is not necessarily a glitch, but is definitely a problem sometimes. It's very helpful. Like, I definitely don't want the feature removed. So if you tap an effect button and go into that menu, it will eventually go back to what it was on before. Sometimes you want to turn that on, you're doing other stuff in the meantime, or you're waiting for a transition and then it goes away. So the solution to fix this is to right arrow and then left arrow. And that's it. Now this will stay on the screen indefinitely. That is the solution to that problem, is if you just right arrow and then left arrow, it's going to stay that way. So let's talk about some glitches that I don't necessarily have solutions to or like really understand why it's happening. The first one is values randomly changing. So without pushing any buttons at all or turning any knobs, a value will just change. This has happened to me before. It happens to Biscuit a lot.
And my E level changed again for my reverb. I love it when that happens. The cutoff changed because my loop station is terrible. But yeah, so see, it just changes automatically. I don't know why it does that.
The leading theory is that these knobs are really, really sensitive and they're not the highest quality in the world, and so sometimes things will break. Unfortunately, I don't have any solutions to that. It's only happened to me personally once. I don't know what Biscuit does when he just kind of just deals with it. It's just part of the MK1. The MK2 definitely has a lot more glitches than this thing does, so, you know, suck it. Anyways, I don't know the solution to that problem in particular, but it is definitely something that can happen. Next issue, a glitch that I've encountered quite a lot, is that instead of a track starting, it will just start flashing. And I have actually had that happen quite a few times on very specific tracks. So track 1 is responding as if this is playing. Track 3 is playing right now. It's not starting from the beginning. I can't overdub either. Test 1, 2, 3, test. So nothing just got overdubbed. But the double tap all stop. And now we're back. With the metronome, I have on some of my tracks, I have it set up just to play for the first thing that I do, and then to stop after I'm done that thing. So in this case, the rhythm stop is at rec's end or recording end. So once I'm done in this track, once I'm done making the hi-hats, I want it to stop the metronome because I don't want to hear it anymore. That could be the main culprit, but I'm not 100% sure. It's pretty consistent among the tracks, so I have in my notes when I need to double tap all stop. At least it's consistent, but yeah, very strange. I have a few more glitches that I really don't understand, but are certainly interesting. Yeah, I got the rhythm. I got the rhythm. I got the rhythm inside of my veins. You like the rhythm. You like the rhythm. This next one, I will warn you, does have a massive jump scare in it. I will put on the bottom of the screen. You'll see it in the waveform where the jump scare is going to happen.
Fuck, that was scary.
Holy crap. Oh, why does it do that? Oh my god. With that glitch in particular, I know it has everything to do with Pitchbend. So the Pitchbend will occasionally glitch in a multitude of different ways. I think it might be like a feedback kind of issue, not necessarily with my speakers, because in that video I was wearing headphones, but just a feedback within the system of however the Pitchbend works. So that is a glitch that is specific to the Pitchbend. So it's just something to be aware of, and it is very scary and very loud when it happens. Beat shift is very broken. I have a beat shift tutorial, as I do with every single effect on here, and I talk about the beat shift glitch itself. What is going on? It won't even play at all. It'll just stop the track. The solution to this is to just turn off and reset the beat shift, or to stop the track and then start playing it again. It is really annoying when it happens, and it happens somewhat frequently with the beat shift, so it's definitely going to be something that you're just going to have to deal with. It's one of those things about this effect that is very, very strange. And that's it. That is all of the glitches and issues that I have encountered within my year of over a year. Oh my god, almost maybe 2 years now of using this thing. If you have any glitches or issues or problems that you have encountered on the MK1, drop it down in the comments. I am going to be doing a Q&A at some point where I can answer all questions, and I will hopefully have a solution for you to be able to figure out what bug is going on, or at least a workaround on how to fix it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.